Welcome to today's mat yoga practice. So today we're going to do a standing practice. Standing is great for building balance and strength and stability. So those are the kinds of ideas to kind of seed your mind, seed your intention for this practice. If you're feeling a little wobbly, if you're feeling a little uncertain about your stability today, you can always practice near a wall or a door frame, or even grab a chair to have nearby to give you that extra sense of stability as we do this. But we're just going to kind of go through some familiar movements and focus that intention on building stability, a little bit of balance, a little bit of strength today. Now let's start small. Let's start with the breath. So bring one hand to your belly and the other hand to your chest. You can close your eyes here and just take a couple of breaths. Maybe breathing through your nose, nice and easy. Recognizing that one of the ways that we build stability in our bodies is also to bring our minds into a place that feels stable. So focusing on the breath, letting everything else take care of itself just for this little block of time. And again, breathing through your nose as best as you can throughout the practice. Now that you've got your mind centered on that easy breathing, let your arms come to your sides. Eyes can be opened or closed. We're going to start small with the shoulders. So on your next inhalation, just bring your shoulders towards your ears. And then when you exhale, roll those shoulders back and down. Do this a couple of times. So lifting your shoulders. And then roll it back and down. Maybe one more time. And then let your shoulders relax. Let your arms hang down by your sides. Go ahead and point your thumbs towards your legs. So on your next inhalation, you're just going to rotate your thumbs forward, out to the sides and back, squeezing those shoulder blades together. When you exhale, return to the starting spot. See if you can pull that belly button in a little bit as you exhale. So when you inhale, you're finding the space across your chest, all the way out through your fingertips. When you exhale, returning to the starting spot, pulling that belly button in. Do this a couple more times. Again, let your attention, let your mind be here. If you're feeling distracted, if your brain is busy today, just recognize that's part of what's happening. And continue to rebalance, refocus your attention. Let's do one more if it feels good. All right, now let your arms relax. Maybe roll those shoulders again. And now that we've kind of gotten the upper body awake, let's focus in on the center of the body a little bit. So oftentimes when we do a little cat-cow on your hands and knees, we're going to do something like that standing. You can stay where you are. I just want to give you the side view. Start by bending your knees a little bit. Your hands are going to be on your thighs, and we're just going to move the spine. So when you exhale, you're pulling that belly button in, rounding your back. You can even squeeze your shoulders towards your ears here. And then when you inhale, flatten your back, lifting through your chest. Try and pull your shoulder blades back and down. So find that little action. Maybe it just feels like a little action today. Maybe your back's a little stiff. That's okay. Connected to that easy breathing through your nose. Again, just rounding your spine, pulling that belly button in. And then flattening your back, lifting through your chest. All right, the next time you exhale, you can pull that belly button in, walk your hands down your legs, just fold as far forward as it feels useful. We just want to find that little bit of stretch along the back. And keep your knees bent a little bit. Now if your hands are touching the floor, you can hold on to your elbows. We just want the arms to hang. So if you're not quite touching the floor, your arms are hanging, they're not touching anything, that's okay. And then all you're going to do is gently twist your upper body to the left a little bit, and then come back and twist to the right. You can go as slow as it feels good. You can just kind of swing a little bit and let gravity pull your spine long. You notice those hamstrings a little bit.
If you're not feeling very stable, bend your knees more. That still counts. All right, and then when you feel even, bring your hands to your legs, pull that belly button in, and then slowly, slowly stand all the way up. As you come up to standing, feel all the blood drain from your head back down to your feet. If the room is spinning wildly, give yourself a minute just to find that balance again. All right, so now you're gonna focus down the soles of your feet. Notice your toes on the floor here. We're gonna be really subtle, really feeling that connection between our feet and the floor, that stability. So, feeling your feet on the floor, think about pressing your big toes into the floor a little bit more than everybody else. And then relax. Now, if you notice that all of your toes start to grip when you do this, that's too much. Just back off, make it small, make it subtle. So just that little press, maybe as you exhale, pressing your big toes into the floor. And then when you inhale, relax. I'm gonna do it one more time, just that little press at the big toes. And relax, it's not very visually exciting. All right, now let your toes relax. If you can, lift your toes and wiggle your toes and set them back down onto the floor. Think about getting your feet mostly parallel to each other here. And then again, stand up tall. When we look down, again, I'll give you the side view. When you look down, your body's already heading toward the floor. So it doesn't help our stability to look down at our feet. So don't do it for too long. Just get those feet nice and parallel to each other and then stand up tall. Pressing those big toes into the floor. Think about lifting the arches of your feet just a little bit. And then relax your feet, relax your toes. Now, pay attention. Notice if you feel this kind of moving, shifting your whole body. Pressing those big toes down, lifting the arches of your feet. I notice it go all the way up my hips, my spine. Now relax your feet, relax your toes. We're gonna do it one more time. Pressing those big toes down, lifting the arches of your feet just that little bit. And then relax your feet, relax your toes. See if you can lift all of your toes again. Wiggle those toes and then set your toes to the floor. Maybe lift your heels a little bit and set them back down. And you can check, make sure your feet stay parallel because sometimes they want to shift. All right, so once you find that parallel spot for your toes, we're again gonna press those big toes into the floor, lifting the arches of the feet, and see if there's some place you can hold that action in your feet. Maintain that action in your feet. We're gonna add a little baby squat. So just a little bend at your knees, just till you feel that stretch in your calves, maybe in your Achilles tendons, the back of your heels. And then when you straighten your legs, you're gonna clench your glutes. So here's the deal. When you inhale, relax those glutes, bending your knees. The entire time you exhale, really pushing your legs into the floor, clenching those glutes. Feel how strong and stable your legs are. Okay, so do this a couple more times using your breath. Inhale, bending. Exhale, straightening. Keep those feet active. Keep your arches lifting. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. You can join me here if it feels good. All right, now with your knees straight, relax your glutes, relax your feet, maybe lift those toes again, set your toes back down. You can lift your heels a little bit and then come back down. And maybe just shake out your legs. So I'm just bending one knee and then the other a little bit. All right, so now we're kind of working our way up to the hips. I wanna do a little twisting action with the spine. And start by opening your feet a little wider. Your toes can kind of point out to the sides. They don't have to be parallel here. And the big movement is through your arms and your spine. All right, so I'm gonna show you the big movement first. What you're doing is you're shifting, you're twisting to one side. Your arm is coming across the front of your body to your opposite hip. And then notice what's happening at my heel. So I'm shifting to the right, lifting that left heel. And then I'm gonna come back to the center and then go to the other side. So my right hand's coming across to my opposite hip, lifting that right heel, and then coming back. Now we're gonna go faster. So just, again, let gravity, let your arms kind of flow
There's not a whole lot of action, not a whole lot of control with the arms. But notice your feet as you go from side to side. I'm gonna do one more time on each side. When you feel even, just let that swinging calm down. And then notice your feet, notice your knees, notice your back. Since that's a lot of momentum, there's not a lot of control, sometimes we can go a little bit overboard. So notice, we only did a little bit of it, but if you were gonna do this on the regular, if it felt really good, you wanna have a little control to start, just to notice that you're taking care of all those joints, you're not building tension. I know that was a lot. All right, let's let the brains relax and focus on the body again. See if you can get your big toes pressing into the floor. Your feet are mostly parallel. Arches are lifting that little bit. And then let your knees be unlocked. So your knees are just softly bent. All right? Now pull your belly button in just a little bit. All right? And then lengthen your spine. Get as tall as you can. All right. So a little stability, a little balance. All you're gonna do is shift your weight to the right, just a little bit. I know I'm doing the opposite here, just to confuse you. And then come back to the center. So you feel both feet pressing into the floor. It's really subtle again. Now we're gonna shift to the left. So the weight of your body's going down through that left foot. Both feet are flat on the floor. And then come back to the center. So you can feel both feet pressing into the floor. So we're gonna do it again, shifting to the right. And then coming back, and then shifting left. Again, I'm doing the opposite if you're watching me, and then come back. Now we're gonna make it a little bigger. You're gonna shift your weight to the right, lift that left heel. Now if you can, keep your spine nice and long, keep your hips stationary, so you're not just lifting your hip as you lift your heel, okay? And then come back. Now we're gonna shift left, lift that right heel. So you're leaning, the weight of your body is going down through that left leg. And then we're gonna come back. Don't forget to breathe. Let's do it again. Shifting to the right, lifting that left heel. Whole body's going left, going right, and then come back. I'm totally confusing you with the left and right. So let's just go to the other side. Weight's going down through that nice stable leg. You're lifting your opposite heel, and then come back. Take a free breath. Let your brain, let the left and right relax. All right, we're gonna make it a little bigger. We're gonna try shifting your weight right. So the weight of your body is down through that right leg. Lift your left heel and your left arm. And then come back. I know it's a lot of control. The previous movement was a lot of momentum. This one's a lot of control. Shifting your weight left, lift your right heel, your right arm, and then come back. We're gonna do that one again. So shifting right, lift your left heel, your left arm, breathing, and then come back to the center. Nice control. Shifting left, lifting that right arm, that right heel, and then come back. Now take a free breath. Again, we're gonna make it a little bit bigger. If you're feeling a little wobbly, if you have something that you can put your hand on, that's fine. We're gonna shift the weight of the body to the right. Lift your left arm. See if you can lift your left leg out to the side. Control it. Breathing. And then we're gonna come back. So both feet are flat, arms are down. And then you're gonna shift left, lift that right arm, that right leg, and then come back. All right, now I'm gonna invite you to turn up the volume a little bit more. If your muscles are starting to get tired, listen to your body. But if you can, shift your weight to the right, lifting that left arm, lifting your left leg. See if you can stay here, take a breath, get tall. All right, and then we're gonna come back, both feet onto the floor. Did you make it? We usually have one stronger leg. We're gonna rest for a second and then we'll do the other side. Shifting your weight left. Lift that right arm, lift that that right leg. Take a breath. All right, and then we're gonna come back. Both feet flat, both arms down. Let your brain relax. All right, So you might feel a little bit of action, a little bit of awakeness through those muscles on the outsides of your hips. So we want to stretch them just a little bit, kind of a counter pose. Again, it's a balanced posture. So if you want to hold on to something for balance, you can. If you can, you're going to cross your left foot in front of your right. Now, if this is too far, if you're already feeling too wobbly, you can just bring your feet so they're in front of each other, like you're on a balance beam. But you find a spot where you feel stable. Both feet are pressing into the floor. Those big toes are pressing into the floor. All right, pull your belly button in, get tall. I feel really wobbly here. All right, so your feet are pressing into the floor. See if you can bring that left arm alongside your head. Again, I'm doing the opposite, pulling that belly button in, whichever is left for you. And then you can lean your torso to the right a little bit. Keep pressing your feet into the floor. Keep pulling that belly button in. You want to get tall even as you find that side stretch. If you like, you can even push your hips to the left, reaching to the right. Try and keep your chest open here. And then you're going to bring your arm down, uncross your legs. Notice how crooked everything feels. Before we do the other side, I'm going to invite you to do a little forward fold, just so we can reset the spine, just to find that even stretch along your back, maybe to smooth out your mat. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly stand all the way up. Take your time. Again, if the room is spinning, give yourself a minute. Just pause. All right, and then we're going to do the other side. So I'm doing the opposite, but you want to cross your right foot in front of your left. It might be different on this side. Again, if you need a little bit more stability, you can stack your feet in front of each other. But you find the spot, both feet pressing nice and solid into the floor, belly button's pulling in, think tall. And then you're going to raise your right arm alongside your head. Maybe lean your torso to the left a little bit. You can even push your hips to the right a little bit. I'm tight on this side, so you feel your body. Notice where you feel the action, keeping your chest open, finding that control. Just breathe in. All right, and then you're going to bring your arm down, uncross your legs, and this time step your feet wide. Again, your toes can point out a little bit, that's fine. We're going to do a forward fold here. So just walking your hands down your legs. You can keep your hands on your legs wherever you can reach, but try and relax your neck, relax your shoulders, letting the crown of your head, the top of your head, just kind of point toward the floor. Now, if you can, just bend your right knee a little bit more, pushing down through that left foot, getting that little extra stretch on your left leg, your hip. And then you're going to come back to the center so your legs are even. Now bend your left knee more, pressing down through that right foot. Taking a breath or two here. Keep relaxing your neck, even if it wants to help. And then you're going to come back to the center. All right, now I want you to bend both knees. We're going to stay here for a second. If you can, bring your arms on the insides of your legs here. Think about pressing your elbows into your legs. So you're pushing your knees away from each other just a little bit. Just finding that little extra stretch. And again, dropping your hips. You find the place where it feels useful. So bending your knees as much as you can. If you feel unstable, that's too far. All right, keeping your knees bent just a little bit. You're going to stand all the way up. Take your time. As you come up to standing, step your feet together. Take a breath. Feel the spinning of the room. All right. Like I said, this whole practice is standing. So if at any point your body goes, I've had enough, you can come down to the floor and rest. But if you're feeling good, what I'm going to have you do next is just step so that your right foot is forward, your left foot is back. Take a breath. Nice strong legs. Feel both feet pressing into the floor to start. Now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on this back leg. So when you inhale, you're just lifting that back heel up off the floor. And then when you exhale, press your heel toward the floor. Try and find the stretch at your calf. So we're going to do it again. Inhale, little lift. Exhale, coming down. 2 more. It's not much balance, but it's a little bit. Last one. All right. So the next time your back heel is on the floor, take a look. Look back at that back foot. See if you can get your toes mostly forward, your heel mostly back, so that you really get the stretch in your back calf. And then you want this back leg to stay strong, straight. All right? Now, the front leg's gonna start straight, and you're gonna bring both arms out in front of you. At the same time, you're gonna inhale, bend your front knee, bend your elbows back, pushing your chest forward. And then when you exhale, straighten your knees, straighten your arms, really pull that belly button in, almost like you're tucking your tailbone as you exhale. So we're gonna repeat that movement. Inhale, bending, exhale, straightening. Now notice your hips. If one hip wants to rise up, if you wanna lift one hip, try and keep your hips stable with each other. So when you're bending, one hip doesn't lift up. See if you can find that. Again. Okay, one more time. Bend your front knee, bend your elbows back. Now feel the spot where your legs feel solid and stable, hips are nice and stable, belly button's pulling in. Okay, now we're gonna move the arms. Now that I moved my arms everywhere. So on your next inhale, you're just gonna reach toward the ceiling, maybe look up at your fingertips. When you exhale, pull those elbows to your sides, tuck your chin. Now if you notice your shoulders are really cranky today, you can always reach forward in front of you. It's a little less stress across your shoulders, your neck. Listen to your body. Do this a couple more times, finding what works for you. Keeping those legs nice and strong. Keep breathing easy. If you can, one more time, reach your arms alongside your head. Now keeping that front knee bent, we're gonna fold forward. You wanna keep your hips stable. You're gonna reach forward. Your hands can come to your leg, they can come to the floor whenever you want. And again, notice your hips. Notice if that one hip wants to come forward, you wanna keep your hips stable, kind of pointing toward the end of your mat. Now we're not gonna get too fancy here. I'm just gonna have you straighten that front knee a little bit. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders. All right, now you're gonna bend your front knee that little bit. Using your arms however you like, we're gonna stand all the way up. Take your time. As you come up to standing, step your feet together and adjust. Breathe. All right, do you remember which foot was in front? We're gonna do the other one. So set yourself up. So the other foot is forward. Find your balance here first. Feel both legs nice and strong, pressing into the floor. We're focusing on the back leg first. So when you inhale, you're just lifting that back heel. As you exhale, press your back heel to the floor. So you find that little stretch at your calf. Starting small. Let's do it again. Little lift. And then pressing your heel down. Let's do 2 more. Easy breath, kind of resetting your brain. Coming back to this simple movement. Last one. As you press that back heel into the floor, look back. See if you can get your toes pointing mostly forward. Notice where your ankle wants to cheat, right? Maybe feel that big toe pressing into the floor again. Keep your back leg strong. Your back knee stays bent the whole time. And then we're gonna start with that front leg bent, or front leg straight. See, now I don't even know straight and bent. You guys, thanks for playing. All right, start with everything straight. When you inhale, at the same time, you're gonna bend that front knee, bend your elbows back, pushing your chest forward. On your exhale, straighten everything, really pulling that belly button in like you're tucking your tailbone. So inhale, bending. Exhale, straightening. Notice those hips. Notice if there's a little cheat, like one hip wants to rise up, twisting. See if you can keep your hips stable. If you don't know what stable feels like, just aim for that. The next time your front knee is bent, your arms are bent, stay here. Pull that belly button in, that'll help stabilize around your sacrum. Now when you inhale, you're gonna reach up, maybe look up. Exhale, pull it down, bending those elbows in towards your sides, tuck your chin. Do this a couple more times. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, pulling it down. Maybe 2 more. Keep those hips nice and stable. So notice if one hip wants to start to creep up, keep your hips even with each other. The next time you're reaching toward the ceiling, keep your arms alongside your head. Keep that front knee bent. Back leg is straight. You're gonna reach forward. Hips stay even with each other. We're folding over this front leg. Your hands can come to your leg. They can come to the floor. Check in with your hips. If one hip is leaning forward a little bit more, see if you can press both butt cheeks toward the back of your mat. And then all you're gonna do is straighten that front knee a little bit. Keep pressing both hips back. Relax your neck, relax your arms. Try not to smother yourself in your shirt. Now you're gonna bend that front knee. Legs are strong, that back heel is pressing into the floor. Use your arms however you like to stand all the way up. Take your time. And then step your feet together. And feel all that work. So we did a little awareness of the stability of your hips. When you have 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, it's really easy for one hip to rise up, to go out of alignment. And that's usually what causes people discomfort through their hips, around their sacrum, even their hip flexors. So just start to be aware of that as best as you can. We're gonna do one last strong thing, if you got it in you. So hopefully I've talked long enough. Feet stay even with each other. No left-right awareness required. All right, hands are gonna be on your legs. When you exhale, we're gonna fold forward. You're gonna pull that belly button in and bend your knees like you're sitting down into a chair. Glide your hands down your legs. Now, if you can't, keep your knees bent. Imagine you're still sitting in that chair. You're just gonna lift your head, your chest, and then straighten your legs, both legs, nice and strong, pressing into the floor, clenching your glutes. You got it? We're gonna do it again. So glutes relax, exhale, bending, folding forward. Imagine you're sitting down into that chair, right behind your knees. Keep your butt low. When you inhale, lift your chest, and then straighten your legs. It's harder that way. I'm gonna invite you to do 2 more. So exhale, pulling that belly button in. The control going slow just makes us much stronger here. Lifting the chest, keeping the butt low, and then straighten your legs. Last one. Keep the butt low as you inhale, lift your chest, then straighten your legs all the way up. And then take a free breath. And you feel your heart rate. Maybe notice your breath is working a lot harder now. Maybe notice the room is spinning a little bit. Give yourself a minute. All right, feel that circulation all the way down through your legs, all the way out to the tips of your toes. Recognize the strengthening that we did today, the awareness we did around the sacrum. Notice those muscles of your legs working. We're gonna do one last standing movement here. So legs get to kind of hang out. They're just gonna hold us up. We're gonna move the arms. So on your next inhalation, reach your arms out to the sides and out toward the ceiling. When you exhale, sweep your arms out to the sides, bring them down alongside your body. So repeat this movement. Inhale, reaching out and up. Exhale, arms come all the way to your sides. Extending through your fingertips. Take up all the space. Maybe just one more time. And then roll your shoulders a little bit. Now, I told you at the beginning, we're doing all standing. If your legs, your feet have had enough and you want to sit, we're going to do one last thing. You're welcome to sit, but I'm going to do this standing. We're just going to end with our little nyasa. This is a movement with meaning, just a little reminder for ourselves. So bring your hands together at your chest. Your thumbs can touch that spot around where you think your heart is. And just take a little moment, make a wish for yourself. May my heart be grateful and generous. May my heart be grateful and generous. And then you can move your hands to your forehead. You don't have to touch your face. Just focusing your attention on that spot between your eyebrows. Making this little wish for yourself. May my mind be clear and present. May my mind be clear and present. And then bring your hands to rest at the crown of your head. May I recognize my connection to others. May I recognize that we are all connected. And then you're going to reach toward the ceiling, out to the sides and down. May I recognize my connection to the universe. And then you can seal it all in. Take a moment just to take a breath, just to feel